Gill, you've been with the New Saints Foundation for 7 years now. Needless to say, it's been an interesting and varied journey.
It has, Stuart, yes, and I'm really proud of where we've got to actually over those 7 years. It's not just on my own, it's with a team, great team behind, both at a senior level and the team that we've gradually grown over the years. But yeah, no, it's been an interesting journey, and I think we've gone from probably being an unknown player in the area to being a key provider of community activities and in the local community now.
And one of your main roles is to get grants and funding for the projects that are going on. So basically you approach people and say, can we have your money?
No, not quite like that, Stuart. We hope they'll support us. But yes, it's all about relationship building, really, being seen as a quality provider, somebody who's very happy to work with partners, with stakeholders, and having a product that people want and that will benefit the community. Yes, we do some traded activity, as you know. We offer our regular community football sessions, which are all paid for by those attending, and we also do a lot of traded work with schools, so offering PE, school CPD cover for provision and cover for teachers, and after school clubs, which are gradually coming back now after the COVID lockdown. But the other half of our work is really working with partners and looking at how we can help them provide activities that the commercial sector can't provide, because it either doesn't make sense commercially or else the target audience that you're working with really needs that additional support, which needs to be coming from funders, and that's yeah.
And there is one particular grant that we wanted to talk about today. That's the HAF.
It is indeed, yes, the Holiday Activities and Food Programme. So we've been involved with providing holiday activities, free holiday activities with food for the last 6 years. And a couple of years ago I became aware of the government's programme for the holiday activity and food provision. At that time there were only 17 local authorities in the country that received the funding, and so did a little bit of exploration and got support from Shropshire Council basically to put in a bid which we would oversee, and then we would work with providers across Shropshire to deliver. Thankfully we weren't successful in that proposal, but we missed the whole thing by 2.5 marks, so we were very close. And I say thankfully because of course COVID came last year, and we would have really struggled to implement the programme across the county. However, our experience in doing that and our work with various partners led when the government this year, as a result of the big focus on young people and holiday hunger and so on last year, and the work that Marcus Rashford did, of course, to raise the profile, the government this year released funding to all local authorities to provide a programme across their area. And so Shropshire Council got in touch with us to see how we'd planned to do it originally, and we were invited onto a stakeholder group to help develop the programme across the county. Once it was initiated, we took part in a pilot programme at Easter, and then the summer programme has been developed completely by the council, and we've been invited to tender for some of the activities, and we've been successful in that. So we'll be running quite a lot of provision across the northwest Shropshire, and we're also working with a couple of schools in Whitchurch also. We'll do a rural programme which provides 4 hours of activity 4 days a week for 4 hours a day, 4 days a week for 4 weeks of the holidays. There'll be a rural programme which focuses 1 day in 4 different villages. So we'll have Gabowen, St Martin's, Weston Ryn and Whittington all doing one day of 4 hours per week. And we're actually running it for 5 weeks rather than 4 because we've had support from other funders to enable us to expand the provision, which I'll come back to in a second if you like. We'll also be at Woodside School and Gattaca Playing Fields, and there we're working with the primary school, so we'll offer a free morning of activity for 4 days a week, 5 weeks of the year, of the summer holidays, and the school will then be offering a full day's care, so the afternoon that they'll add on for a minimal fee to enable parents to get a full day's childcare, basically for about £15. So that's great, really, for local people. And we'll also be in Ellesmere and work closely with Ellesmere Primary School, and we're doing a full programme there, so 4 hours a day, 4 days a week for 5 weeks of the holidays. As a charity, our aims are to make physical activity as available and accessible to as wide a cross-section of the community as we can. The holiday activities and food programme is specifically aimed at families in receipt of free school meals, which is great. It sort of cuts across our charitable objectives, though, in terms of making activities available for everyone. So that's where we've gone to other local funders and said, would you support us to offer a universal provision for all young people? And we've had great support for that. We're not the only organisation in the county, a few have done that also, but the relationship we have with other funders due to our other work has meant that's been a fairly easy an easy task to undertake. Well, they've been very willing to come on board with us, really. So yeah.
Gill, thank you for your time today and the insight into the great work that TNS Foundation does, and of course the added benefits that the fund will give to you and the fellow workers and the programmes during the course of the next few weeks.
No problems. Thanks, Stu.